Hi, this is Bethany Gagne, founder of the Global Peaceful Cities Project. And today, it's an amazing pleasure for me to be sitting here with Dr. Rollin McCraty, Director of Research here at the Institute of Heart Math here in beautiful Northern California. Rollin, thank you so much for your time. So, Rollin, we've been doing this for a few years, and we know that what people have a hard time with is that they can do something inside of themselves and actually influence, positively impact the world around them. Can you address that? And I know Heart Math right now is doing a lot of work in social coherence. So.
Well, there's lots of ways and levels. I know where you're wanting me to go, but I mean, just being kind to people.
Absolutely.
Whatever we do about
Right.
the energetics, which I know you want me to talk about,
Yeah.
has a huge impact on people.
Right.
It lifts their mood, and for some people, it can be life-changing.
Right.
So just learning to be kinder, more caring, and cooperative is a huge impact on those around us.
Absolutely.
But I know you want me to talk about is some of our research, which really spans personal and what we call social and global level.
Right.
So those are all interact. And that can seem a bit abstract, but we're doing some very rigorous science that actually proves that point. So let me start with the personal, and it really starts with the heart, because the heart is the biggest source of electricity in our body.
Right.
When you go to the doctor and they put electrodes across your chest to measure the electrocardiogram,
Right.
it's called the electrocardiogram because we're measuring electricity.
Right.
And the heart generates by far the largest source of rhythmic electricity in the body, by far.
Right.
And whenever we have a flow of electrical current, we create magnetic fields.
Right.
Now I'm going to use my cell phone analogy here.
Okay.
So I can be here inside of this building and make a cell phone call.
Right.
That's really the magnetic part of electromagnetic waves that are carrying the information from my call, whether I'm sending a text message or talking or whatever. So the electromagnetic field carries the information from here to the cell tower and back and forth, right?
Right.
So the magnetic field is why we can talk inside. It goes through the walls. So the magnetic field produced by the heart, because of the flowing current, easily radiates outside the body.
Right.
And I'm not talking about an aura or something.
Right.
This is something how do I know this? Because we can measure it.
Right.
So we have instruments called magnetometers, and we can measure the field of the heart with today's equipment about 3 feet away from the body.
Right.
And just for comparison, you can measure a brainwave external from the head about 1 inch away.
Right.
With the same equipment and settings, right?
Yeah.
So the heart's clearly the big field generator.
Right.
Now, we've also done experiments, just like I used to work for Motorola. I'm a communication engineer in my past life. So we have techniques that we can measure this signal being carried by my cell phone here and demodulate that and say, okay, well, here's the text or the voice that's being carried.
Right.
Well, using almost the same kind of techniques we used to use for that, we can take and measure the magnetic field of the heart and see that it's carrying information. So in reality, you and I are sitting here communicating energetically through magnetic fields.
Right.
And we can measure this.
Yeah.
So, in fact, when people communicate, that research has proved that for good communication to really happen, to we really grok each other, that our physiology dances in a synchronized way together, including our brainwaves. So we can measure that. For example, my brainwaves might be synchronized into your heart and vice versa.
Right.
Right, and we've been able to demonstrate that what mediates that, what causes that is the magnetic field. It's carrying the information.
Right.
Now that's in a conversational state. So when we're more composed,
Right.
We're deeper listening, and so you have better communication and a more positive flow.
Yeah.
So that's another level. But
Right.
even if we put a barrier between us, we can't see each other.
Right.
We can't hear each other, plug our ears. We can still see that our physiology is communicating magnetically.
Isn't that interesting? Right.
Now this is really interesting because, as you know, here at Heart Math, we've developed a series of techniques that help people better stay in charge of themselves.
Right.
Maintain their composure.
Yeah.
Create flow in non-flowing situations.
Yeah.
In other words, when we're hitting the traffic jams.
Yeah.
And that's when it's really important.
Yeah.
That's when most people lose it. And then they do things that they regret later.
Right.
So these are techniques that allow you to maintain your composure and think better right in the moment.
Right.
Which you know a lot about. I know you're a trainer.
Yeah.
We won't go into those now, but they cause a measurable change in the activity of the heart. We can measure that when you get into this coherent state, as we call it. So the fields we're radiating also change and become more coherent.
Right.
Now, several studies have now shown that when we're in that more heart coherent state, which is associated with being kinder, more caring, loving, appreciative,
Right.
that actually has an uplifting effect on those around us that we can measure.
Right.
Again, this is not theory.
Yeah.
Right? We can hook you up.
Yeah.
And so that if people around you are coherent, that it affects you in a measurable way that's beneficial for you.
Right. So even though the people around you may not be practicing it, the fact that you are, it does make a difference.
It makes a difference. Now, it's not magic bullet. It's not going to make somebody who's all angry and upset suddenly be happy and joyful.
Yeah.
But it can help create an atmosphere that gives them a boost.
Right.
So they can get back to their center quicker.
Right.
And it has, as I said, a measurable physiological change that's beneficial.
Right.
So then, taking that to the next level, so that we've talked about personal and social.
Right.
This also works in groups.
Yeah.
Then the next level is global. So we have a project, as you know, called the Global Coherence Initiative,
Right.
which is really looking at the interaction between humanity and the Earth's magnetic field itself.
Right.
So we have a big project, magnetometers, very expensive,
Right.
ultra-sensitive, specially designed magnetometers all around the Earth.
Yeah.
So we have them in Lithuania, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, New Zealand, Canada, one here, and Colombia coming up, that are measuring the resonant frequencies of the Earth. And what's really fascinating is that the fields of the Earth are vibrating. And what's really amazing is that one of the bigger fields, called field line resonances, we won't go into too much technical detail here, is exactly the same frequency as our heart rhythms when we're in a coherent state.
Oh, right.
It's really interesting. So just like my cell phone, again, I love cell phone analogies because it helps people, I think, rock it.
Yeah.
So in this room right now, there's probably 100 cell phone conversations.
Right.
The magnetic fields of them.
Yeah.
How does my phone pick out the one I want? Right? Well, quite literally, it's called resonance. We tune the receiver to be resonant, the same frequency as the field we want. And as soon as you do that, the resonant coupling is called, allows the energy and information from the field in the air to be coupled into my phone and hear the conversation.
Right.
We work the same way. The fact that both our brain waves is another set of Earth dynamic fields, and our hearts are the same frequency as the Earth, means that we can couple energy and information between us and the fields of the Earth. So the Earth is like the Earth's field, or like the carrier wave that my phone uses to go from the cell phone transmitter.
Right.
And we all live within that big field.
Right.
So we're always coupling information to, and if we're tuned in, receiving information from the field.
And the benefits of that include?
Well, that's a whole other discussion.
Sure.
There's a lot. One of the things is I think it explains what we call non-local intuition.
Right.
Now, are you a mother? Are you a parent?
Yes.
Okay, so most mothers out there, I ask this question when I do public lectures. How many of you have known when your kid was up to something they shouldn't be?
Right.
Or in distress, and they're on the other side of
absolutely,
town.
right.
Or even on the other side of the planet.
Yeah.
Everybody raises their hand. Every mother that's been around the block knows this. So something has to connect that.
Yeah.
It's not magic. Well, it kind of is, but it's not really. There's a mechanism. So it's the field carrying the information that we're coupled to. And what tunes us, our receiver, to the field, becomes us resonance, is who we care about. I mean, you're picking up information from your kid, not the other billion or two kids.
Right.
What a mess that would be.
Right, exactly.
So we work the same way. So we gain information from the field through our resonant coupling to it, through what we care about, our emotions. But we're always feeding the field information.
Okay, I think that's the subject of our next interview, so we can close on this. Thank you so much for really demystifying that for people, giving that wonderful cell phone example. I mean, thank you so much.